Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic. This week for comic fights, we've got Agent Venom versus the Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Both of these guys have a suit of some sort that is very adaptive, very dangerous, and offers different sorts of offenses and defenses. So let's outline what they can do. Let's start with Agent Venom. Flash Thompson is a combat veteran, an excellent hand-to-hand combat fighter, an excellent marksman, a tactical genius. He is, as a soldier, very well equipped. Now, in addition to all that, he has a symbiote that gives him all sorts of abilities. Most notably, it changes the way he looks, and it can change shape and function. So he can turn that symbiote into different weapons, so like blades. He can create an armor out of it where he appears much bigger, like a tank. He can use it to create extra appendages that wield different weapons. It also amps up all of his natural skills, so it makes him stronger, faster. It also gives him the equivalent of a spider sense, so he can sense when danger's coming and can use his super quick reflexes to avoid it. And like Spider-Man, he can shoot out a webbing-like material that is made of the symbiote itself. Now, in most cases, Flash has complete control over the symbiote, but it does sometimes lose control and go savage, reverting back to a form that Venom hasn't really had in a long time. So while he's composed, tactical, he can stay in control, but he might lose control and it turns into a savage killing machine. This also means that when it kind of rages out, it might lose the morals that maybe Flash Thompson might have. In terms of vulnerability, the symbiote is very much affected by fire and sonic attacks. Now, those things don't necessarily kill the symbiote, but it puts it in so much pain that it likely will retreat from the host. So these sorts of attacks can be used to separate Flash from the symbiote. Now let's talk about his opponent today, the Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Jaime Reyes has a scarab that can cover his body with this armor, and it can adapt either to what Jaime wants or what it, as a sentient alien being, wants to do. So most notably, it can become wings and allow him to fly. It can become various weapons like blades, guns. It can change what sort of blast it shoots, which is super important in this match. That it doesn't necessarily have to be just concussive blasts, but it could potentially be fire or sonic blasts. Now, as a weakness, the scarab tends to not want to hurt people, especially does not want to kill people. So it has been known to refuse Jaime's orders or what he wants to do because it might hurt or kill or end a life. And so that might come into play here if the scarab's morals make it retreat, where Venom's lack of morals might go forward and be berserk. Another weakness here is that Jaime is not especially trained. He's gone through some stuff, but he is not a combat veteran. He is a kid. So can a kid, relatively untested, with an immensely powerful suit of armor that can adapt but might be unwilling to do what it takes, take on a combat-trained veteran with a living symbiote that can basically turn him into all sorts of different things and might go for the killing blow if it loses control? So in the comments, I want you to give references. I want you to talk about different things that the symbiote and Venom have done, different things that the Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, has done, and what do you think would happen if these two crossed paths? If the Blue Beetle as a hero had to stop a Venom that was out of control, what would happen? Would Flash Thompson be able to compose himself and use his tactical skills to take out this extremely powerful weapon that the Blue Beetle has? So now let's talk about the winner from last week. We had Captain Britain versus Lex Luthor. There were some good thoughts, but it basically came down to the fact that circumstances for this match especially matter. That a lot of matches, it's pretty clear who wins, who loses. But this one, the matter of how long these people have to prepare makes all the difference. So if they stumble into each other, Captain Britain obviously going to be able to take out Lex Luthor. But if Lex Luthor is able to think, plan, scheme, manipulate, if he has the time to do that, he will undoubtedly find the weakness that Captain Britain has. That if he has that time, Lex Luthor will clearly win. So this is all summed up in a comment right here by Wes Drawn. Honestly, I'd lean more towards Captain Britain, though Lex could get into Captain Britain's head like he does so many others and screw him up possibly exposing his own overconfidence and messing with Brian Braddock's own confidence. So it really came down to either of them could win based on the circumstances of the match. So here we're going with a draw just because that wasn't clear. And I know I don't go into a lot of depth in circumstances, so it's nice when people bring up under which situations people might win or lose. So that is it for this week. If you've gotten to the end of the video, that's exciting because we've hit 10,000 subscribers. So on Sunday, a video is going to go up outlining a contest to win 5 Funko Pop collectibles. There's 6 different ways to win, so on Sunday, look out for that video. I'm very super excited about that. Make sure you like all of our social media. Thanks for watching, and I'm so excited about next week. See you soon.